As a kid in the army, every time my parents got transferred, I saw the situation as a way to reinvent myself. Remove the parts which didn't seem to fit in with the didn't seem to fit in the past to fit in with the kids of a new place. I used to stress myself out for not having a bunch of people in my class to talk to. I started depending on my sister to talk to at the end of the day so much that it became our daily ritual. She and I would sit in the bus together and roast people on their English or talk about fights, like this guy pushed his friend onto a dustbin during a fight, denting the aluminum. Even in general, for a teenager, finding a place to fit in seems hard. They again and again change themselves to try and feel like they belong somewhere. The only difference for me was that I always felt like I have a spotlight on what I'm doing placed on me. We have all felt that anxiety when doing something, like walking, for example, wondering whether people think I walk weird. I know it sounds very silly when I say it out loud. When you're so young and still trying to figure out who you are, it makes you question yourself when you're not even able to find some people whom you don't find physically and mentally exhausting to be around. I made myself extremely social and adapted to the behavior the kids had. These were mostly the kids I wanted to be friends with. The sad part is, it works. This also made me realize why adults have so many personalities in social situations, like when in Friends. Chandler invites Monica to an office party, and she ends up having to pretend all those people were funny with her loud, fake, obnoxious laugh. Apparently, you have to act different around every other group of people and fit in. Even adults don't seem to make things right for us. I mean, haven't you ever felt like running away or packing your bags up just to try escape your parents because they don't respect our individuality or privacy? As a teenager, I should be granted, but due to cultural and societal reasons, may be compromised at times. Parents get mad for letting people take advantage of me and I not standing up for myself. But when I try to defend myself in an argument with them, it is considered backtalk and I get in trouble. And then when adults think they have the right to use taunting language against us to force us to make something of ourselves seems unfair. Don't you think? Let me give you an example. Once this guy told me about how teachers would body shame him and blame his weight on him not being good at studies, which is just straight up horrendous. How does one's weight directly correlate with their ability to perform academically? They wish for us to fit into these small little boxes on a farm because they believe that's the path to a good position in the society. My parents are appreciable on the fact that they don't stress me out on bad marks or not having the perfect plan for college. They realize I am my own individual person with differing interests and personality than them. They somehow allow me with the independence to figure myself out, find my way in life. Parents need to be less controlling and let their children grow from their own experiences and not try to protect us from the world, thinking that's the only way to go. When I say this, I think of my cousin whose mother keeps an eye on him every which way possible. If they install another app, ensuring she knows her kid's Instagram account password, going through their texts whenever she wishes to, daily checkups to see if been up to something, and not letting them hang out with their friends for parties unless she knows where they live, has spoken to, or are acquainted with their parents. And I mean, whatnot, the list goes on. This is crazy because sometimes parents think, or adults think, since they have heard things on the news, they just have to be true. Or maybe they're trying to protect us without realizing we need to be able to grow on our own. I also heard about WhatsApp University recently, where knowledge has been acquired from forwarded text that is mostly made up stuff being passed on for some reason, and it is gulped by these adults that call themselves educated. However, parents do have the right to keep us in check, especially when their children are likely to bad influences. But going ballistic on us for and disregarding our need for personal space to work and think efficiently isn't the most productive. Unhealthily probing into our lives, making decisions for us, the family choosing what we should study, and the career we shall take is going to affect the child's decision making and affect them later when they have to be independent. My point being, parents should have a healthy relationship with us. If they're too strict, it will result in us trying to escape at any point and get better at keeping to ourselves. While being too permissive as parents doesn't give kids that training of pain and hard work required. Extremely strict parents make their children feel unaccepted, and it is not easy to talk to a strict parent. And we can all agree talking is the most effective way to connect with anyone and helpful when going through changes or experiences. It is so funny that our generation would rather post their feelings online for the whole world to see, but are afraid to confess them to a couple of people or even close friends. So when kids feel like parents are not giving their thoughts and feelings importance, they will shut off, and that will increase the communication gap between their parents. Adults and reporters on news give facts about mental health. It isn't right that a person that hasn't experienced mental issues or self harm should be preaching about such sensitive issues. They have no right. And parents who have had totally differing instances in life than us, shrugging off our problems for or attribute their existence to the fact that they have lived longer and hence know better does not work well at all either. I feel like adults don't understand and we just can't explain. So you know how video games have tutorials and explanations and demos before we start playing? Well, life doesn't have that. I mean, we have to take such important decisions right now, but I can't even sort out my Spotify playlist and convince my friends to let me hog their Netflix. How am I supposed to sort out my life? I am a Gen Z. Personally, I believe that we are realists and our humor is sucky. We have so many problems. I also believe that we as teenagers and young adults worry about our futures a lot. We were born with phones and tablets in our hands and rely heavily on the internet. Our generation is so focused on our future, but because we're such hard realists, we kind of forget about the fact that we're all still technically teenagers and young adults. We should be living our lives. I believe that though we have humor, it's so screwed up that even I question our own sanity. Do I really know I'm doing something that is worth it? I mean, people are out there who say don't go to college. So should I really not waste my time with that? And do I even know if I took the right subjects? How do I know if I chose the right friends? I mean, the reason teens are so easily irritable and moody is because they might not be getting enough sleep. That's it. My point is, nothing is ever really evident, and sometimes nothing makes sense, which is okay. Not knowing the direction that life is taking you in and having a crisis at the age of 16 is not the end of the world. Most of us are still figuring out what to do next every day, and that is perfectly okay and normal. Be who you are, take your problems positively, and just chill out. And remember how messy your room is doesn't define who you are as a person. Thank you.